The Joe Rogan Experience.
What I wanted to talk to you guys about is some of my favorite stuff that you've done. And some of my favorite stuff that you've done is the undercover shit. And one of the things that I found the most disturbing was when you two posed as a gay couple and you went to that place where they were advocating transgender children and transitioning children as young as 3 years old. Actually, 3 years old was Owen Benjamin, got in an argument on Twitter and lost his manager because he was saying that someone is fucking insane for giving puberty blockers to a 3-year-old kid, for giving hormone blockers to a baby. Yeah. Which I am, fuck yeah, that's not even a strong enough word. I mean, that is insanity. Fucking insanity. I mean, your body's not even developed. You're not even close. We're not talking about 18. We're not even talking about 21, which is arguable still crazy. Like, you really should probably wait until your fucking frontal cortex fully develops to figure out who you are. But the idea that you're going to know at 3 who you're going to be when you're 30.
Well, they present the other side.
Bananas.
They act as though you're crazy. That was, they were like, well, you know, the thing is with the puberty.
Well, let's play it.
Me with hook,
let's play
like
some of it because it's fucking nuts. When I watched it, I was like, oh my God, like, what are these people saying?
Well, I'm not afraid.
Who
Rex
took it down?
Butt. Rex Butt. Dr. Rex Butt, who shows up in Pride
That's his
parades.
name?
His name is Rex Butt.
That is hilarious.
Kid you not.
We're
the business
not
card.
in a real world. We're in a goddamn simulation.
Well, it was a town hall. This was a town hall.
We're in a simulation. This can't be real. A guy, his name is Rex Butt.
And he got YouTube
What do you
to
do
take
for a
it down.
living? You know. Okay, let's play some of this, and if there's, for most of the people are listening. Hold on, let's set this up.
Interns.
So what was this?
Okay. It was, well, not gay Jared and I. So here's the one. Can I preface this with something?
Yes.
We don't, like, we're not undercover journalists. So
Right.
we do a late night show. That's
Right.
what we do. We do the monologue, we do jokes, sketches, and we do interviews. And then every now and then we stumble across something. And when you're doing, for example, like Antifa, and they hand you a knife and they talk about shooting Ben Shapiro.
We'll talk about that too.
But the point is, and then when the media just lies about it, like, we feel compelled to. This isn't our thing.
Right.
It just is
in
one
fact,
of many
this particular one was kind of a throwaway.
It was a throw. We were joking. It was a goof. It was
we
like,
didn't even bother with costumes. We just walked in and said we're queer.
It was what the healthcare transgender town hall. We were like, oh my
It was
God.
a transgender town hall.
Transgender town hall.
Where was it at?
Vermont.
Vermont.
Yeah.
Burlington, Vermont.
Oh, that place is crazy.
Oh, I was on a plane with Bernie Sanders on the way there, too. It was.
Give me your money. I'm going to give it to the blacks. Let's play.
All right.
Boy, he's about 6 now. He has said that feels like a girl, prefers playing with dolls, and of course we don't want to discourage it. We spoke with our primary care physician. He said wait until the boy is fully developed.
We made all
That's
this
Rex
up.
Butt.
That's
Way
right.
fully developed is a little vague.
That's me.
And I would say a little inaccurate from the research.
A little inaccurate from the research I've done.
It's so late.
The kid
18's too late.
insists, then it's just like, okay, get rid of the puberty blockers. They just go through late puberty.
That's
and
it.
Everything's still lined up. There's no indication there's any damage.
That's not true.
No, not at all.
Puberty blockers are not reversible. That's the entire point.
That's not the point.
The child,
It's the opposite.
The young someone at the pre-adolescent age going into those adolescent.
It's going to change the way your body
Time.
develops. No
of
question
course.
at all.
Of
Yeah,
course.
I mean, there's no way giving a kid a puberty blocker, letting them go through life with a puberty blocker, and then at 17 or whatever the fuck it is, decide to take that shit off. You're going to be the exact same human being you would have been
Yeah,
without
these are
that.
the same people worried about little estrogen in milk cartons. So
Yeah, I mean, and this guy's
Is it
saying...
BPA-free plastic? Because I don't want it to alter my hormones. By the
But-
way, I'm going to chop off my balls and do puberty blockers at 8.
Well, this is, I mean, you can't let a kid make those decisions. You can't make those decisions for a kid. They're too young.
No, he's just
5,
picking his nose
15?
and wiping his booger off on the couch 3 minutes ago, and now you're letting him decide his hormonal profile?
Yeah, the idea that a child who's 6 years old or whatever would know the consequences, but them saying that 18 is too late and that it's not, that they would disagree with your primary care physician that it's too young based on the research that I've done. What fucking research have you done where you can clearly point that it's a good idea to transition a 6-year-old?
Well, that's a problem. Here's another problem. We don't know if YouTube is going to ban this video because of what you just said
Well,
and
I
what I just said.
guarantee you this video is going to get marked for demonetization.
Well, yeah.
But the Jordan Peterson one just got flagged. And we talked about this book. We talked about the 12 rules for life.
Yeah.
We talked about guidelines for living a healthy...
just started reading it.
It's a great book. Let's keep going.
Lobsters.
Put a little more of this.
To understand themselves.
When your testicle reaches a particular diameter and the penis is developed enough, then there'll be enough. If you're going to transition the other way, there'll be enough material to create a vagina.
Oh, God. There'd be enough material to create a vagina if the testicles and the penis are developed enough.
Did you know this? Did you know that unless your penis gets big enough, you can't get a fake vagina because there's not enough tissue to invert? So he's like, this is him. He's like, now if you decide to go transition the other way, meaning if you decide to not transition, remember how everyone made fun of this, the beauty pageant girl when she was asked about gay marriage? She's like, and gay marriage or opposite marriage, and everyone laughed. And it was silly. You know what I mean? She was conservative, but it was silly. But he's doing that right here. Like, should you choose to transition or transition the other way? You mean, should you choose to not cut off your penis? That's transition the other way now?
Well, not only that, there's a lot of people in the transgender community that think it's offensive to assume that you have to get an operation, get your penis removed in order to be transgender.
So
this guy's making this big assumption that this is what you have to do in order to transition. I know a lot of people that are transgender that do not have the operation. I don't know a lot of people. I should just say that. By the way, let me say this too. I'm 100% in favor of grown adults deciding to transition. I think you should be able to tattoo your face, get nose rings. I don't give a fuck what you do. I really don't.
Yeah, but you're also asking the government to pay for your face tattoo.
Yes, that's true. Well, and there was another thing. Here, I'll send this to you, Jamie. That was some research today that someone put out. Here, let's play this, and I'll forward this to you, James.
The thing is, that's a good example. It's a public town hall, which we attend. And it gets removed from YouTube because someone who handed us his business card, Rex Butt, hilarious, by the way. Like, the rest of us, we weren't nearly as mad about this as we were just in doubled over in laughter at the guy's name is Rex Butt.
Do you think he had trouble securing the URL rights to his own name? That's a completely different website.
He has to run a search to get his URL.
Yeah, I just sent this to you, Jamie. If you follow the tweet, it is by Dr. Deborah So. Article from the National Institute of Health Study. Dr. Zero Van Meter, a pediatric. Oh, okay.
Oh no,
pediatric endocrinologist. Well, she's anti all this. Okay, Dr. Q Van Meter, a pediatric endocrinologist with extensive experience in gender dysphoria, which, by the way, is hate speech, says there is 0.0 evidence that the concepts of gender fluidity and gender identity have any scientific basis.
Why she includes 0.00? That's the second zero there.
She's money. She's thinking about cash.
Yeah, doesn't mean anything.
She's thinking about cash money. Well, I guess you could have 0.01%. You could have 1/100th.
She wanted to make sure there was no doubt.
Yeah,
she's burning those extra characters.
She likes zeros, bro. She's burning the extra 240 characters.
What's funny though is you say like hate speech. Gender dysphoria is still in the DSM-5. That's the actual, like, the psychiatric journal that they use, the reference book.
But they literally call it hate speech now.
Yeah, I know. But it's the actual medical condition.
Right.
What's crazy in that undercover, God bless my wife, she went with us because we need other people to have hidden cameras, and so she posed as a lesbian. A movie kind of lesbian. You're like, really? You exist? And like, yeah.
They weren't even hardly fooled. They couldn't say anything.
Well, she, remember, said, like, I identify as someone with bigger breasts. And she was asking how to get this covered under, Medicare, Medicaid, because they were talking about getting all these operations. And Mr. God bless him, Dr. Rex Butt was
the
like,
only straight,
I think you should
building.
mention that, talk about that gender dysphoria. So for her, they use gender dysphoria to try and file it medically to get new tits on the taxpayer dime, but it was considered hate speech to say it to the transgenders in the room. It's just crazy. Like, you can't make sense of it. And I don't need to make sense of it. I just need to not be banned for talking about it. She
just wanted to be the woman she was meant to be.
Right. Well, I mean, anything that you can mock is bullshit. I mean, if you can mock it that openly, if that's that obvious, like getting bigger tits because you identify as someone with bigger tits, I mean, that's bullshit. That's why it's so funny.
I don't think I've ever been more in love with my wife than when she did that. She just, we didn't expect it. She just looked at me, she kind of nodded, she's like, I've always identified as someone who has bigger breasts.
Well, did you see that guy that got busted molesting children and said he identifies as being a 60-year-old boy? That was a really recent case. I mean, people are trying this out when they get caught doing things. And I'm not saying that there's not people out there that identify with being a man when they're actually a woman or vice versa. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is there's a lot of fucking crazy people out there. A lot. And to deny that, and just because it's dealing with gender, we're in Narnia now. We're in La La Land. You're not being real.
No. Well, let me ask you this, because like you said, you're not right wing. I'm pretty open about the fact that I'm right wing. I remember watching your show a while back, and you had little guy. Little guy. Buck
Angel. Yeah. Little guy that used to be a gal.
Yes, exactly. And then I don't remember what I said, but it's the same kind of conversation we have here. Like, I don't just go out and be like, oh, screw you, you're a tranny. I said, well, I just don't buy it. And he wanted to get into a fight with me. Like, he wanted to have a fight. Like, let's fight about it.
This
was years ago when he had him on the show.
Had a fresh shot of test. Jacked.
But,
he was huge at one time.
Oh, was he?
Oh, yeah. Got up to like 185, like super jacked, because just banging test in there and fucking lifting. But he was saying that his joints hurt really bad when he was doing that.
It's almost like it's unnatural. So
crazy.
But back then, when you had him on.
Jacked.
Right.
Like, if I had a roll with that guy, I'd be like, fuck.
185?
All right, here we go.
No, come on. You wouldn't have problems with that.
Try to be kind.
Yes, exactly. But the point is, back then, let me ask you this. Did you realize it was going to get as insane? Like, or did you just think this was this is an interesting guest?
Well, he's a nice guy. And,
right.
You know, I'm more than willing to call him a man, and that was one of the things that I said. I said, look, man, you're a person. Whatever your name is, whether it's Buck or Fred or Wilma, I don't care. I just, whatever you want to be called. I'll call you whatever noise that you connect with you as a being. Yeah. I'm fine with that. And if you can explain to me where you feel happier being a man, I'm 100% in support of you doing that. What drives me crazy is people making decisions for 6-year-olds, people pushing 6-year-olds in certain directions, and I know that this does happen. I can't get too personal about this, but I have a friend who has an ex-wife that turned his child into a girl.
Yeah.
And it, like, tried this and was pushing this, and kids are very fucking pliable, man.
Oh yeah.
This is not, I mean, maybe some boys would have rejected it, and maybe he was leaning that way anyway, but she was excited about it. And this is something that a lot of people are excited about. I mean, we're talking about a 14-year-old. I mean, I just don't think you know who the fuck you are. You know, what is that girl's name? Ruby Rose? Is that her name? The attractive lesbian with the tattoos? She said that when she was young, she wanted to transition. And she's very happy that she didn't. She wanted to become a man, and she's very happy that she didn't, and she's a lesbian, and she's happy, and she's open, and super successful. But she's advocating this sort of the same thing that I'm saying. It's like, let people become a goddamn adult and then make these inalterable, life-changing decisions. This guy's saying that hormone blockers can be turned off and then you could go through a normal puberty. You're out of your fucking mind.
Right.
I'm not a doctor, but I have enough understanding of biology to know that that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's just not true.
No, it's absolutely not true. And that's one of those things. Listen, anyone can get lost in the weeds and make someone look stupid with something specific. You know, whether it's. I mean, you were showing me that compound bow out there. It's fascinating. I don't know anything about it. I'm going to be a moron. You know, less than room temperature IQ. Some doctor can come in who's pro-transgender and explain something and make it sound like we don't know what we're talking about. So when it comes to that,
see, I don't agree with you there.
Well,
I don't agree with you on that.
You can use some terms we wouldn't know, right?
It doesn't matter. What terms are there that you don't know about a child's biological development?
Well, what they point to, they go, well, actually, there are these studies that show that the brain alterations occur before a cross hormone sex replacement therapy, and it's not true. So we had a few transgender people on our show, but the point is, with these, whether it's a conspiracy or this, you say, okay, I'm not a doctor, and I can't just appeal to authority. I can't just say this doctor says X. So I do have to, at this point, accepting that I'm not a doctor, accept the preponderance of evidence from the overall medical community. And combine that with the anecdotal, and combine that with, is there a motive here? Is there an agenda here? Who benefits from it? Now, I can understand how someone might benefit from a conspiracy where it's like, oh, they make a lot of money off of this. Or was it Tim Kennedy as a hunting Hitler thing? I'm not saying it, but it's like, okay, I understand after war, they thought maybe they had Hitler and they needed the healing for the country. You go, okay, I can understand that. But with this, it just doesn't add up. None of the arguments they present add up.
It's a new way for millennial parents to whack off. Just turning each of their children into social experiments.